morning, everyone. I know that your microphones have been muted deliberately, so I take it that you're greeting me. And I just want to welcome you warmly to this session, and I hope you will truly benefit. Remember, this session is a short time span, a little bit less than 2 hours, and in truth and in fact, I could use maybe a week or 2 weeks to take you through the different elements of this platform. But just to get you comfortable a bit, I'm going to ask you to look at my screen. You're going to follow the instructions. I'm about sharing now. How would you best
I'm not hearing Mrs. Miller.
I'm going to share my screen with you again, and you will just answer the question that I have there. How would you best describe yourself as a teacher? You can respond by going to www.menti.com and use the code 289292. Quickly do that on your phone or on your computer. Just go to a new tab and do that. Describe yourself. Here I've given you some examples, but you can of course give your own. Are you seeing the instruction at the top? I'm hovering over it. Go to www.menti.com and use this code and just respond to me. I'm seeing 3 responses so far, 5. All right. Engaging, innovative, supportive, inspiring. Keep them rolling. Keep them rolling. 47 responses. All right. And of course, you can use the chat to answer if you're not able to go to menti.com. 76 responses, and I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing. Mrs. Dawson Brown, I'm seeing where 2 participants have raised their hands. Maybe you could unmute them so they could maybe ask the question that they're trying to, or make a point.
I'm not seeing them.
Not seeing them?
No.
All right. All right, thank you. Thank you for these responses. Inspiring, caring, clear, passionate, open to new ideas I'm hearing.
Yes. Engaging researcher, open-minded.
Yes, I'm seeing that. Very good,
Supportive.
teachers. Yes, I'm seeing them coming in.
Seeing some responses. Passionate.
Yes.
Creative. Inspiring. Energetic and engaging.
All right. So I'm going to stop sharing a little bit for this one. You can use the same code. And I'm actually trying to make a point here. Just give me a minute. All right. I'm highlighting another screen here, and I'm about to share. All right. And I see my answers are rolling in. Are you familiar with the Edulastic Assessment platform? I'm seeing no being the highest. I'm seeing heard about it, nothing yet. Willing to learn about it. Keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. I have another minute to take your responses. I'm seeing 16 so far, 17 and counting.
Yes, I see some persons saying yes.
Yes. All right. Willing to learn about it, but I'm seeing where no is still
We have a lot
the
of no's.
highest. Yes, no is still the largest. Still rolling. We have another minute. Good, I see 35 persons. Majority still saying no. Some saying heard about it, but never used it. Okay, I'm seeing one person saying yes so far. Very good, very good.
Right, one person has said yes so far. No clue.
All right, thank you.
No, not yet.
Thank you, teachers. Thank you, teachers. Thank you very much. So you just use the Menti platform, and if you're familiar with it, very good. If you're not familiar with it, you can always go to Mentimeter and create an account. Yes.
Mrs. Carter JC has raised her hand. I'm not sure what it is that she wants to say, but
All right.
I would prefer if
Feel free to
all
go
the
ahead.
concerns and the questions are typed in the chat, and when the session is ready for questions and answers, we will take them.
All right. All right, so this morning, I'll be taking you through Edulastic. It's a very helpful tool, I would say, very helpful, but I'd prefer if you share that with me after I'm finished. How did you find it? All right. Are you seeing my screen, everyone? You can just indicate in the chat.
Yes, we're seeing your screen now.
All right, very good. Now, for most of these programs that we are actually using, we're using the free teacher version. However, for every platform, of course, there's a premium and maybe enterprise section, and those you would have to pay. In some cases, an annual fee. In some cases, it's a monthly fee. But based on the needs that we will have to use Edulastic, you'll get to realize that the free version is good enough. Now, teachers, colleagues on a whole, you would realize that technology has changed the whole landscape of teaching and learning across the world. Edulastic is a digital assessment tool that is taking students' learning to the next level. The data that you can get from it is really transformative in the classroom. You can use the information to better prepare and to plan for your students. It improves students' learning and the quality of instruction given by us as teachers. It is standard-based and it provides instant and meaningful reports so we can plan. Now for today's objectives, we'll be looking at the introduction to Edulastic, how to create a teacher account, a free account, how to create and administer a test, take this test from the teacher's perspective and also from the student's perspective. We're also going to view performance from the teacher's perspective, and that I will show you from this PowerPoint. The uses of Edulastic in the classroom, you'll get to see that. And I've included a section how you can use it for the 5E lesson plan. And of course, I'm not going to be leaving you hanging. I'm going to be leaving you with a resource that you can always use, the teacher resources page. And if there's anything you're not sure about, you can always go back at your own convenience and you'll be able to go at your pace and get the information that you want. But this is a tool that am strongly recommending that we use in our teaching and learning activities. Now, Edulastic is a formative and summative assessment platform that teachers are encouraged to use both in the traditional and the contemporary classrooms. It is user-friendly. It's a user-friendly online assessment that provides instant feedback, as I said before, and results. So teachers and administrators can address misconceptions in real time.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Mrs. Miller, please put the presentation on slideshow. Some persons are saying they can't see.
I can't
Put
see
it on slide.
No,
Put
I'm
it on
just used.
slideshow so they'll see it. Okay.
All right, it's better now. Remember, this PowerPoint is going to be sent to them. So I'm just guiding their minds and their thoughts in this. This is not actually the working one now. So it's just me guiding you into the use of this. But I can always make it a little bit bigger. All right?
Okay.
All right. It is engaging and technology enhanced. It empowers a teacher with instant classroom data. Teachers can quickly administer tests. And what you need to realize is that it is a standard-based assessment. So here it is, you're provided with the opportunity to make your own tests, type it up, your multiple choice and so on. Those I'll be going on to when I actually go into the platform. And you can use tests that are there. For example, I know I'm talking to teachers both at the primary, secondary, and perhaps even tertiary level right now. So I'm saying for standards, such as the PEP exam the other day, and with GSAT some years ago, looking at CSEC exams, CAPE exams, and some exams with NCTVET, and so those are standard-based exams. So if you would remember, the bank for GSAT papers up to 3 years ago, 4 years ago, teachers across all levels would share questions and so on. So if you're a grade 6 teacher at the time and you needed to make up a test, Edulastic would be a tool that you could use. Teachers would actually publish their questions and you could quickly, in 10, 15 minutes, just copy those questions, make up a test, and give it to your own students. So when I say standard-based, it's something like that, matching the curriculum, NSC, and so. And even though most persons or research will tell you that it's mostly for formative assessment, it can also be used for summative assessment. And in formative assessment, may I remind you, these are quizzes, examples quizzes, games, projects, presentations. You may do these weekly or monthly or, periodically. No, summative is what comes at the end. For example, at an end of term project, final exam, term paper, or so. Now, this is something that you really should pay attention to, and I'm not going to be selfish with just Edulastic alone. Now, with these two slides, Edulastic in the 5E lesson plan, of course, you look at how to engage the students. You introduce the lesson with a video that maybe you created or something that you perhaps used, such as Edpuzzle or Mentimeter that I introduced a while ago, or Powtoon, something that will briefly get your learners ready for class or ready for the lesson. Then we move on to Explore, where you allow students to find out more using different search engines with guided research techniques. So what it means, you don't just send the students to Google and say, go find about the plants or the plant cells or part of a flower or about a computer network. You don't just send them like that. You guide them so they look for who wrote it, authorship, how current it is, if it was done 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or last year, or so. And these will help you to determine even the accuracy of the information. when you look at the authorship, the person who created the information or reviewed it, when you look at their credentials, that will help you. Now, to explain, students should be able to explain concepts introduced in the lesson with valid examples. And some tools that you can use, one is Zoonow to do a web quest, and there's also an offline version using PowerPoint for a web quest. You can create a blog using Blogger, and here the students can actually give a feedback, or if you want, you can make an account using Pixton, and with Pixton, they'll be able to make cartoon strips to show that they really understand. And then to elaborate now, you will find out that this is where you use a platform such as the Google platform, Canvas, Microsoft Teams, Schoology, Edmodo, or some others that you're perhaps familiar with. And this is where the students actually put new meaning into what they have learned from the lesson. And in some cases, this is where you extend it, where they get an assignment, they get to make something. They can use a photo story even to show that they really have benefited from the session. And the last part of it for 5E is where you actually evaluate the session. How did the students benefit from the lesson? What benchmarks were reached? And based on the objectives outlined, did they maintain their learning targets? Here, Edulastic is an ideal tool for quizzes, monthly tests, projects, and even final exams. Other exciting tools that you can use as well are Kahoot, Quizzes, Quizlet, and Socrative. Always remember to reward when you have a competition. You can simply use a praise, or you can give a tangible item. And Edulastic will guide the next phase of planning to highlight areas of strengths and weaknesses. And in this case now, you will know that here is where you need to reteach. You're able to see all the questions that the students did, the questions that they mastered, the entire class mastered, the ones that they did not master, and the ones that most people did not master. As a teacher now, you would decide, okay, I'm going to plan around this area to see how I can improve the students' grades or their learnings, or for them to have a better understanding overall. All right? Now, just before I take you over into edulastic.com, this is what the dashboard looks like. This is something I took from one of my, two of my Google Classroom classes. So this is what is presented. This is how it looks when you actually go in. And then you'll find where you get to use assessments. And this is where you spend the bulk of the time as a teacher in assessment at step 2. I'm going to quickly take you to the report section so you can have an idea. Now, here's an example. It's not so clear, and I understand, but just if you just look at it as a picture, not really to read it, here's an example of an instant assignment performance, a set of instant assignment performance reports, this one being the first. Now, in this case, you'll be able to look at the color-coded items and to say, all right, all the green would indicate this is where I had mostly mastery. The burgundy is near mastery, and the yellow is maybe indicated. But then you have a key or color code to identify what went wrong, what went well, where you need to maybe speed up a bit, where you need to review, or so on. In this presentation, maybe you won't be able to get this kind of feedback, but I just wanted you to at least see it. And if there's a need, I'll highlight it again. All right? Now, I'm going to take you over into Edulastic. How to go over to Edulastic? You can go to www.edulastic.com and wait for me. You'll see join for free as a teacher, or you can join with Google. And the image below is pretty much what is presented there, so you can have an idea of the background that you will see. So you can go over to www.edulastic.com and just wait for me. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, but I'm giving you a break. And if there's anybody with a burning question right now, just before I go into the program, I'll ask you to maybe type the question. Mrs. Dawson Brown will read it for me, or she can open your microphones and you can speak with me. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to be going over into Edulastic, and this is where I'm going to spend the bulk of my presentation. In some cases, you'll be able to follow my demonstration, and in a few cases, you may be able to join.
I'm not seeing any burning questions so far.
All right. All right. So then, I'm going to be taking you over into Edulastic. And I guess that's where everybody wants to go. And from there, I'm sure I'll have the questions coming in. I promise to take you through patiently.
Oh, Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Somebody's asking if this can be used with early childhood.
Oh, yes. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Because based on the activities that I have planned for this, you'll get a chance to see that it's for all levels. All right? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, I am.
All right. Now, when you go over into Edulastic, this is what is presented to you. Now, in my case, I would just log in. In your case, if you're just starting out, you can go join for free. And in this case, you'll join as a teacher. If you're giving your students a code, because with most of these platforms, they allow you to join with a code, you would give the students the code and they will join here as the code, with the code, right? So I'm going to log in. And with all these and other platforms, you get to realize that they're powered by Google. So having a Gmail account will really prove beneficial to you right now. So when I logged on, I really signed up with my Gmail account. So if you have a Gmail account, you can say you want to sign in with Google. If you're using Teams and you see Office 365, you can sign in with that, right? Now, when you sign in, as I was showing you a while ago, the dashboard, this is what is presented. For the most part, it looks like this. In your case, maybe you wouldn't have a class. You wouldn't have any class yet. So you expand the screen so you're able to see the menu. And let's look at the menu. 2 participants raised hands. Three participants raised their hands. I want to give them a chance to ask their questions.
Let me see, my internet is slowing up. Let me see. Are you seeing them?
All right, let me see if I am seeing them now.
Okay.
All right. Michelle. Michelle, you may open your microphone. I've unmuted you. Then Dana Williams Russell, then Kerry Young. Go ahead. Michelle Enniswood. I've unmuted you. All right, Dana Williams Russell. Go ahead, open your mic. Michelle, I know you're muted by the host, but I'm the host and I'm unmuting you. So you should be able to ask your questions now.
Maybe the hand was raised by mistake.
Kerry Young has her mic opened, yes.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I am on Edulastic. However, my screen looks nothing like yours. I am not able to see a menu bar. What I'm seeing right now is join your school community.
Okay.
I want to homeschool or request homeschool. How do I move on from here?
All right, I'm going to take you right there. Very good.
That's the same thing I'm seeing, Miss.
Okay.
All
And
right.
Michelle Ennishood?
Wow. All right. A lot of persons seem to be raising their hands. We won't be
Maybe
able
it's the
to
same
take
thing.
everybody.
So, right. Maybe
Right.
it's the same thing. So let's go there. All right, I'm going to stop sharing a little bit.
So I'm just going to ask persons to just watch carefully.
Right. I'm going to stop sharing. I understand what they're saying. All right, so here it is. I'm going to www. Edulastic.com. Edulastic.com. Just bear with me. I'm trying to load here. Edulastic.com. It takes me to Edulastic login. I'm trying to get to the point where the persons were asking the question, so I could take you there because I think it's asking you for a school
name
or a district code with a zip code or something like that.
Right.
Right. So let me take you there. It took you straight to my account, and I understand. So as soon as I get this up to the screen where you are, all right.
Okay, some persons just selected a school and they're able to join on.
All right. But if in case you're looking for the zip code,
or type in 0 zeros, 4 zeros.
Four
Right.
zeros, and that will take you there. And it will prompt you for some questions. With some questions, there is where you can type in the name of your school because you're given that opportunity. Because I'm right here in Jamaica and I was able to create and a number of other persons. All right, so indicate to me if you're able to move on, even to see the dashboard. You can respond in the chat by saying a yes.
Okay, some persons are actually on.
Okay, they're seeing the dashboard.
Some persons are there, yes. While
All
you
right.
have just one person saying they're not seeing the free version.
Free version?
Something, yes.
The person may have to restart or refresh because I'm only taking you through the free version, free teacher plan. I just want you to be able to get there, then I'll be able to share my screen again.
Persons are seeing the dashboard.
Very good. So now I'm going to, what if I don't want to use school email? You can use your own email. You can use your own. I'm seeing the dashboard, very good. So should I move on then?
Please do.
Good.
Because the time is going.
Yes, I'm watching the time is. So share. You should be able to see my screen now because I really want to take you through some exciting elements of this Edulastic platform, and then you can maybe ask your questions thereafter. The important thing is for you to be able to sign on, get on, to use it. And that's what I'm going to be taking you through now. Now, if you look at the dashboard, you see my classes. You look at the menu, you see assessments with a plus. You can always click on the plus to create a new assessment. You can go to the question bank. You can go to an entire library. And here's where you'll be able to get your reports based on how the students responded to your assignment. All right? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going down to assessment. And this is where I'm going to spend most of the time, as I told you before, because as I said before, Edulastic is an assessment tool, a great assessment tool used for formative assessment, and in some cases, yes, for summative. Now, from assessment, I'm going to be creating a new assessment. There, of course, I have some that I use for other presentation purposes, but I'm going to be taking you through. So I go to new assessment. You see the plus, assessment. If you're seeing it, I'm trying my best so you can see it and we can go on. All right, so I click on new assessment. And from new assessment, I'm presented with 3 options. Create from scratch, choose from library, create from PDF. I'll explain these. Create from scratch, it means that you're going to be doing a test by typing up the test, and also you'll get some options to select from that, some that are there already, and you'll be able to add to your own collection. And if you look at the questions that are there in the bank, look at the numbers. If you go over to the library, look at the numbers as well, you'll be able to browse. And from here, you're basically searching. And if you search based on a filter, you'll be able to select something based on what you want, or you'll be able to get it as close as possible to what you want. So here in the middle, choose from the library. It's pretty much like you go to Google. You're going to teach a lesson on the states of matter, and you type in the states of matter, and you search that you're looking for a PowerPoint. When you search for that PowerPoint, you'll be able to go in and work with it, edit it, fix it, tweak it. And then to create from PDF, it means that you maybe would have some files that were already typed up in Word and created to PDF or saved directly to PDF, and you'll be able to open those and to use it from here. So here would give you the option to upload. All right, so I'm going over now to create assessment. So I click on create assessment. And somebody was asking if I have for kindergarten.
Yeah.
Just before I go to author my new question, look at this here, look at the grade, look at the filter. I'm going to clear everything that's there. So I have a blank area to work with, right? Clear all the filters, nothing is here. And look at the bank, look at the questions, look at that number.
Okay. Miss.
Yes?
Okay. Teachers are asking you to just go a little bit slower.
No problem. All right, let me just repeat. I was at the dashboard a while ago, then I moved over to assessment. And would you want me to just go back?
Yes, please.
All right, here's the area where I have the menu, dashboard, assessments, and so on. And as I said before, I'm going to be spending the bulk of my time in assessments. I'm going to be showing you how you can add, how you can manipulate assessments, and how you can even create assessments. So from here, colleagues, all I did was to click on new assessment. I'm hovering over it, and I'm about to click on new assessment. I see 5 hands raised.
Yes.
I'm wondering, if you're not able to follow me on the computer, what you could do is to follow the demonstration, and then you can do it afterwards. As Delia said earlier, this presentation and all the others will be posted on the JTC's YouTube channel. So just allow me to go ahead, and then I'll try to go as slowly as possible so I can get off some things that you really want to know. So from assessments, I'm going over to new assessment. I click on it. And I'm concentrating on create from scratch. So I'm going to click on create assessment from scratch. And this is all that came up. Now from here, it looks like the last time I was checking, I was maybe checking grade 7 and so on. So what I'm going to do, here it says filter questions. I'm going to click on clear all. So from clear all, here now, as I said, somebody was asking about early childhood.
Right, if it can be used with early
Right,
childhood
you see,
institution.
these are the options: kindergarten, and from kindergarten, these are some of the questions that are outlined. For example, look at it. It says, Mr. Lopez is divided his garden into equal parts for planting, as shown in the diagram below. The shaded part of the diagram shows where he planted carrots. If I want this question for my kindergarten class, I'm going to click on it. Now, when I click on it, I also have the option to remove. I'm also going down some more, and I see something else, something like this. I click on add. If I want this, I click on add. Now after I've added them, the option now comes, do you want to review them? Do you want to see what they look like? So I've only selected 2 or 3 questions. Look at what look at what they seem to be. So I select grade, which is kindergarten, since it came up under that option. Then the subject is math. Good. And you can always adjust the numbers that are there and look at it. This is what you would have, and you could say preview. I'm just doing this based on the fact that somebody asked this question. So if I should click on preview, I would see the student's view. This is what the students would see. It's loading. This is the same question. What fraction of the garden is planted with carrots? And if I want, I could say 1 out of 6, because since there are 6 equal parts here, and I could click on submit. Now from clicking on submit, it pointed out a while ago that for my 1 question on my exam, I got the 100% because that was all I asked. And the solution came with it. All right, so I'm going to exit that. Back to assessment. I'm going to create new assessment. Create assessment. And in this case, I'm going to clear the filter. If you notice, I've done this 3 times. 1 for the kinder or early childhood. Now, at this stage that I've cleared the filter, I'm going to be looking at this. Say, I'm going to put grade 7. Grade 7 is in the middle, right? It's secondary, but in the middle. Something they did at grade 5 and 6, they end up doing at grade 7 as well. I'm an IT teacher, but I'm going to be choosing math this morning. Math seems to be common across the areas, but don't feel neglected. Other persons, science and social studies, I'm going to cater for you as well. Now, after we have selected the subject, which happens to be math, and it's a menu, it's a list of all the subjects, possible subjects that you can search for. and I'm going to select a standard. In this case, you notice that a number of these are United States based, but I'm just going to select Math Common Core. Some math that we all can use, and the standards now, as I said, Edulastic is standard based, as I explained. Click on the standards, and you would know as a teacher what areas you're looking for. You want them to solve multiple real-life mathematical problems. Which standard you want. So you can select a standard. You can select geometry, number system. Each standard comes up with a set of sub-objectives. So from here, you're able to make a selection and you're able to choose something. I'm just going to be choosing 2 standards. And if you don't choose standards here, you can make up your own and it will be coded. You don't have to use what they give you. You can always say other and you go ahead. Now from the collection, you can say Edulastic certified and that will narrow your search. Or you can say public library, district library, or your personal school library. So when you create, you don't have to make it private. I know some teachers are private. When you create, you can say your own private library. It means only you would have access to it. Some persons really like to share. You can say the public library. But all I'm doing here, teachers, I'm just making selections, question types. I can have multiple selection. I'm going to leave that a little. Or multiple choice if you want. Multiple choice. Single answer, multiple selection means that you can have 2 or so correct answers. The depth of knowledge, you can say simple, difficult, recall, and difficulty levels, you can say easy. Now from easy, you notice I only got 1 question. So I'm going to change it to medium. Medium gave me 7 questions. Let me take off easy. 6 questions for medium. And if I should say hard, it's giving me none. So that's what happens when you try to filter. Good? So if you're looking at these questions, as I was explaining a while ago with the kindergarten set, if you want this question after reading it through, you can click on add to add it. You scroll down, it's only 6. You see others that you want, you can always add them. And if you add it, and after a while you don't want it, you can remove it. Good? So this is now just going through the options that are there based on your subject area. Based on your subject area and your type, your taste. And if in fact you go through and you don't see what you want, you don't like, you can always go to author a new question. And this is where I'm going to be taking you now. So I go back to assessments because I'm sort of repeating. I have a feeling that some persons are not quite following, so I'm repeating. I go back to new assessment, and this is the 4th time I'm going to it. Create assessment. This time now I'm going to be creating my own assessment. So I go to author, new question. If you look at the top, you see author, new question. This time I don't need any help from over here because I'm doing my own thing. Author, new question. Good. Now, when I go to author new question, I am presented with different types of questions. Here I have classic type questions, multiple choice, multiple selection, text drop down, which is similar to the multiple choice. It's just that you select from a menu. You have essay type questions for language, social studies, RE people, text entry, true or false, or questions to upload. here you have a variety of math enhanced questions. Now, let's say you want to use your math teacher, you're not so familiar with Edulastic. You click on fraction editor. This is the third one. I'm just choosing. You click on it and you're not so sure. You click on it. All right, author new question. Repeating. Go to Math Enhanced. And this is the point I wanted to show you. Now, just in case you're not familiar with it, all you need to do is to click on the question mark and a very brief video comes up. So any one of them you want to use, especially if you're a math or a science teacher, you want to use these, just click on the help button and a brief video comes up. 1 minute. All right. And that is there for everyone that you choose. If you're setting a multiple choice, don't know how to do it, the question mark is there with a brief video. Now the question, I'm going to be doing 5 questions to demonstrate the use of this. So I'm going to be using technology enhanced questions. And the one I'm going to be using this time, I'm going to be catering for most teachers who would have a diagram for the students to label. So this is the one I'm going to be using. It says drag and drop. Now, since I'm going to be demonstrating, I won't be taking you through the help. On your own, you can go through each one based on your likenesses and so on. But this one I'm going to be using drag and drop.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith, 3 persons have raised their hands. You want to take?
All right.
Okay. Tanshia Williams Johnson.
You can just open their microphones and let them ask.
Okay. All right.
The microphones are open. They need to open the microphones.
I would have opened her microphone, so she needs to unmute herself. I opened her microphone so she can.
I noticed 4 participants have raised their hands, so maybe we could stop and ask. They could ask the questions right here.
Right. My machine is giving me some trouble.
Let me see if I can turn over to the chat a little. Participants.
My computer is freezing.
All right. Tanisha Williams Johnson, I've opened your mic. I've opened for Juliet and Althea. So please go in that order. Tanshia Williams, please go ahead.
Miss Johnson, go ahead.
All right, Alexander has her mic open. Let's hear from her. Juliet? Teachers, you have your hands raised. And Juliet Alexander, you have your microphones opened. Check on your volume. Alfio?
Yes, Miss.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Miss.
Lovely. Good morning, Mrs. Miller or Miss
Good
Miller.
morning.
My question is this: whenever
Yes.
you create a test or an exam, how do you go about administering it? Is it done on the form itself, or do you have an option of printing it?
Okay, I'm going to be taking you there. This is pretty much for online usage. So you'd put this over to your Google Classroom or your Schoology or your Edmodo or one of those platforms that you have been using. But there's always an option to print, if it even means to screenshot and to print. But you would benefit so much if you actually print it, because here you'd want the students to actually do it online and get their results.
Miss?
Yes?
Alexander here.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, Miss, good morning. For the babies,
yes,
how would administering the test to them, how would they be able to complete the test by themselves?
No, they wouldn't be able to complete it totally by themselves. They would have to be supervised. So I'm going to be showing you, and the parents, I'm going to be showing you three questions. I'm doing 5 questions on a whole, but in doing the 5, I'm catering for all of you, babies and even the adults. But for the babies, especially in their hand movements, you would have to guide them. Ask them the question and let them tell you so they could benefit.
Okay, because at the early childhood level, I'm trying to figure out how would we incorporate this into their work, because they mostly do hands-on activities.
I totally understand. And why I totally understand, I have a baby at the early childhood stage. And even before school was closed, I had to help her with her assignments online. She went to Study Ladder and she would tell me, and I would click on the different icons. So she should be matching. She would tell me what to put where, and I would use the mouse and do it on the computer. So in your case, you maybe would have to do that. As Delia said, I'm catering from kinder to adult level.
Okay, Miss. Okay, much appreciated. I'll just continue to look.
Right. Next person, there's one more person. So I heard from Juliet. There is Galaxy. That person didn't rename him or herself. But quickly, let me take this last question. Galaxy tablet. Go ahead. All right. I'm going to continue.
Okay, please do.
Yes, because I'm watching the time and I really want to cover something. All right, so classic question types: Math Enhanced, ELA. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Not sure what happened there. I'm about to share the screen. My computer froze a little bit, not so sure what happened, but just give me a minute, just bear with me to take you through.
The internet has been unstable for some time
so it's
now.
coming up, so just give me a minute to come right back up. Going back to Edulastic. It's coming right up. So we get to see how to put multiple choice questions, how to label. Actually, it did log me off, so I'm going to log right back on, and then I will share. I'm not sharing right now. I'm going to log back on first, then I'll share. So I'll just go right back to the point. Right, I'm at the dashboard, and this is going to be revision for those who weren't able to grasp. So now I'm going to be sharing my screen. Good. And this is all I got from the assessment tab. So now I'm going to click on new assessment, and I'm going to be taking you through 5 questions. So you'll have to bear with me too while I type. I'm going to click on author new question. And I'm going to be choosing technology enhanced first. This is a drag and drop question I'm going to be doing. It is something I particularly prepared for you. And this can be used at any level, grade 1, kinder, grade 5, grade 11, grade 12, as long as there's something you want the students to label. So think of any item that you'd want them to label, and this is a question that you will like. Now I'm going to click on upload background image. I saved the picture before I came to this presentation. I saved it over to my pictures. So all I'm going to do now is to select the file. Select the file. It's going to take me to my pictures. And it's a plant. Plant. Plant picture. Just bear with me, I'm loading. So I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible before I have any computer glitch or so. I still have to go back because I was logged off. Technology enhanced. This is something that you all will like, and maybe that is why the computer keeps freezing, but just bear with me. Right, so I'm here now. I'm going to upload my image, upload a background image, select the file. I did the file already, so I'm going to search for it now. It's a plant. Plant, right, plant picture. So I open it, and then I click on upload now, because the aim of this picture is for the students to label. So I fix it where I can manipulate it myself and making it as big as possible. This is a diagram of a plant. Now, I'm not a science teacher. As I said, I'm IT. So I have the labeled diagram. So here now, I can look here at the options, and I'm going to put something over them to cover them. So when the students do it, they will have to put them in the correct order. So my question says, label the parts of this plant. It's a flower, actually. And now, a text editor comes up all the time. So my first choice is going to be, I'm starting with the petal. So I'm going to type in petal. Now when petal comes up, an option comes up beside the petal. All right. Petal, anther. This one, the filament. And this one, receptacle. Look at the options. Something
Miss, good morning. I think we have lost her for a little while. Internet troubles. She will be reconnecting soon. Okay, Mrs. Miller, we'll be reconnecting soon. Internet problems, so just give her a few minutes, please. We have been having internet problems in this region for some time now, so I'm going to ask you teachers to just kindly give her some time to reconnect. Thank you. In the meantime, if you are having problems logging on or signing up, please take the time to go through and see if you could get back to the point where we were at the last minute. So we're looking at the assessment rating test. So those who did not get the chance to sign up, please do so now. Miss Miller, we lost you. You're reconnecting? Oh, okay, okay. Okay, teachers, in about 2 minutes, we have been having rain, thunder, and lightning. So please give her 2 minutes and she will reconnect. Those of persons who did not get to sign on, please do so now. And just to inform you that on Friday, the evaluation form will be open so that you can do your evaluation of the session, package 4 sessions, all of package 4. The evaluation form will be made available come Friday. And just to inform you as well that you need to be taking your notes of all the presentation that you would have joined in package 4, so that come August, when it is time for you to sit your multiple choice assessment, you'll be able to do exceptionally well. And I just want to wish you all the best on that. And just to let you know that for you to be actually doing the assessment, you must be registered for the package. Some persons would have gone on simply by getting the ID from some other teacher. You must be registered. You were not registered, you will have to email Mrs. Wilmot in order to fix that so that you'll be able to sit the assessment and be able to get your certificate of competence or your certificate of participation. If it is that you were not registered, then you will have, Mrs. Wilmot will address you on that matter. But it was clearly stated in the email that you must be registered for the different packages. Hello? Yes. Okay. So let me now put on that Mrs. Carrie Ann Miller. Yes, Miss Miller. Okay. My computer is freezing. Yes, I'm seeing the screen. Just a minute. My machine is freezing up. Just a minute. 1 minute.
It's really, and that is why physical distancing is an inappropriate term, because a lot of people don't understand what social distancing and how the term came about. But physical distancing is really a part of social distancing. Well,
all right. Sorry about that, everyone.
Okay. Are we hearing each other now?
Are you hearing me? You can just give a thumbs up.
No,
So,
Mrs. Miller, you may continue. Yes.
all right, let's see how quickly we can go through this. Where I'm at is lightning and thunder, so maybe I'll be disconnected again. So let's quickly go through this. So as I was saying, I selected a technology-enabled question that would allow me to drag and drop. Now in dragging and dropping, here I'm able to upload a background image, and this is where I was bounced off. I'm going to be selecting a plant. And this is a plant picture. As soon as it comes up, I'm going to say upload now. All right, I'm going to be using two computers. I'm going to be demonstrating on one and talking from the other. Let me just try this one more time. I have two computers up plus my phone because I really want to take you through this. Now the picture is there, I'm going to upload it. Right, there it is. I'm going to fit it nicely on the page. I'm going to open it wider, make it bigger. And now is the time I'm going to make this question for the students. In light of the time, I will just say label. You would write your nice question as how we as teachers know how to write our questions. So the first option, it's the petal. Right, this was what I didn't see earlier. And since I'm not science, I am IT, and let's say I don't know what a petal is, I just match it nicely over the petal. Next question, the anther. Think out of the box, so you click back on this little plus sign, hover over anther, make it small enough for the anther box. I'm going to be using the receptacle next. My next question, a receptacle, and I'm going to be going over it. I'm going to be hovering over receptacle. So this is where the students will be. This is a teacher's view. I'm going to be putting in the filament. So I'm just going to be using one side in light of the time, and I really want you to see this. Filament, and I go over to filament and make it smaller. Good. So now I click on remove dropped answer boxes. And if we want to look at this question now, this is from the teachers.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Please show the option for drag and draw.
All right, I'll go back over that. I will.
Okay.
All right, good. So as I said, teachers, this picture I uploaded earlier this morning. So I'm just doing the question now. And if I had more time, I would put boxes around all of these, but I'm just demonstrating now in light that, you know, I really want you to see this. Now that I'm finished as a teacher, and I want to give the students this to label for me, I click on the eye-looking icon, like your own eyeball. It says preview question. I click on preview question. It says your work is automatically saved. It should come up right now with the boxes blank. Are you seeing that? So this is now for the student's view. You can just put a yes in the chat to see that you're actually following. I can always go back to the steps to do this, but I'm just demonstrating how you do a question like this. So because I had put the boxes around these, notice these are empty, and this is how it is presented to the student. So now to find the answer, I click on it, and let's say this one is the answer. Let's say this is the answer. I drop it there. Where you see the blue box coming up, you leave it there. We don't know if it's right or wrong right now. I'm doing it from the student's point of view. I'm putting this as the receptacle. I'm putting this as the petal. Where you see the blue box coming around, that's when you release. The filament, I'm putting it here. Now, I'm the student taking the exam. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I think I'm finished now, so I'm going to click on submit. When I click on submit, oh, very good. It means I got 2 wrong. The X's are here, anther here, and the petal here, and the filament is down here, and the receptacle. These I got correct. So here it could say, show the correct answer, and the students will be able to see the correct answer. All right, I really wanted to bring that across a while ago. So I'm going to go back. I'm canceling this. I'm going to go through author new question. I'm going to drag and drop again. I'm not using the classic question types yet. I'm going to do that last. I'm going over to ELA Tech Enhanced. Then I go to drag and drop, and I'm waiting. Good. The question says drag and drop. Answer choices must be dropped in precise order. Use classification question type if order is not important. So here I'm going to say label the following map. So a while ago I did one for the science people. Now I'm going to do something for the social studies people, but it's the same drag and drop approach. I click on upload background picture image. If you click on the image up here, you have a text editor. If you click on image here, it's going to put the image in the question. You don't want that. You want them to see the question clearly, and you want them to see the image clearly. So upload a background image. Select the files. I go to pictures. As I told you, I had it done already. And this is another question using drag and drop. This time it's a map, the map of Jamaica. I upload it. Ah, that's my map of Jamaica. I adjust it on the page to my suiting. And now we're going to be labeling 4 parishes. The first option, I'm going to put Manchester, since I'm coming to you from the cool hills of Manchester. I'm going to click on the cross button, looks like a cross. I'm going to hover over Manchester. I'm going to make it small. And that's where my Manchester is. It's holding the entire word. That's good. The next one, my host is from Trelawney. So I'm going to hover over Trelawney. So the students would have to be Trelawney right there.
It's not where Trelawney come from.
I know my finger slipped because I'm fixing it. So that's Trelawney. Trelawney for Miss Brown Dawson. I noticed some persons. And I'm going to put Westmoreland. Don't know if I have anybody from Westmoreland in the training, but anybody from Westmoreland, this one is for you. Putting it right here, then I fix it.
This is St. Mary and St. James.
All right, St. Mary. St. Mary. St. Mary. And we're going to put in St. Mary now. St. Mary over here, Eastern Jamaica.
This is nice.
St. Mary. And somebody said St.
Elizabeth, St. Catherine, Portland. I think everybody coming up.
All right, I'm going to do one more from St. Catherine.
Yes.
From St. Catherine.
Yes.
I don't want to do all 14 in light of the time. But
Right,
this is
and the
something,
rain.
right? And I'm just thinking too that the teachers can use any diagram that you have that you want the students to,
And shapes.
to label, and shapes. Notice I didn't even use a diagram of a computer. I'm using something that I figure would be a little bit more practical and all of us would benefit from. So there it is. Now, this is from our point of view as teachers. And look at the options that are here. In this case, I don't necessarily want to shuffle my choices. I really want them to go to specific locations. So now I'm going to click on preview to see it from the student's point of view. Saving the question. Saving the question. Now it's coming up now. Preview. So let's see if St. Mary, if we want to put St. Mary over here. Let's say that's where St. Mary is. Manchester. Let's see, maybe here is Manchester. Remember, you put it where you see the blue boxes coming up. Trelawney. Westmoreland. And the last one is St. Catherine. Now, from the student's point of view, all the student can do now is to submit. We're going to see if we got some right and some incorrect like a while ago. In this case, we got all of them correct. So we wouldn't have to say show correct answer. This is it from this angle. All right. So in doing the question though, teachers, this is the fancy part in the drag and drop. Very useful one. Let's go down to where we assign a standard now. Here I have Manchester, so it's five parishes. So maybe I'd want to set it to the points to 5 marks for the 5 parishes. And here I could allow students to use a scratch pad in answering, and I'm going to demonstrate that in the view section again, scratch pad, and then I'm going to be selecting a standard. I'm just going to say other here. I'm going to say put this at grade. I didn't set up this standard, so I'm going to just choose something here. Say standard here. You have a wide cross section to choose from, and since I started out with math, I might as well leave it at that standard. So I'm going to say KGM, DOK, depth of knowledge. Labeling it is recall, and some people say skill 2, because some persons are labeling it based on how they traverse the country. Easy, medium. And where you see tags, this is how you would put it up so other teachers in your district could find it. Map of, say, Jamaica. And I could always put a solution there. Here I'm getting the option that says hint. And you could put a hint to say, find me, I'm the breadbasket parish or something like that. So the students would be guided based on this particular standard. All right? So this is something especially I really wanted to take you through. I am aware that some persons have questions, but just before we take the questions, I am going to do 2 multiple choice questions. I had 5, but in light of the time, I'm going to be using 2. So you already know how to go to the library to add your questions. I'm going to be authoring 2 new questions now. And this time I'm not going to be using ELA Enhanced or Math Enhanced. I'm going to be using classic question types. So I'm going to be doing 1 multiple choice and I'm going to be doing 1 drop down for you. So multiple choice question. And this is something I'm actually going to be typing up. I'm seeing too that you're seeing my screen being blank, but let me just stop sharing and go right back to it. Share my screen again. I really want to do multiple choice questions. Something is happening with my view. All right, as I said, I'm using 2 computers. So what I will do, I'll just go over to this other computer as long as I can share my screen. Yes, I see where I can share my screen. What I want to know is that if you're hearing me. Are you hearing me still?
We're hearing you. We're hearing you.
All right. So I'm going to be taking you through another screen. So I'm going to be sharing from another computer that I don't have any headsets to use with. So then I go to Edulastic. I'm going to be sharing the screen.
Okay. Seeing your screen now. We're seeing your screen now.
All right. Just a minute. All right. Share the screen. Are you seeing some
Yes.
areas?
We're seeing your screen.
You're seeing my classes?
Yes, we are.
All right, very good. Now, I'm going back to assessment to set a multiple choice question. As I said, I'm using a different computer now. New assessment, create assessment. I think everybody by now would know how to do this based on how many times I've been bounced off. So I go to enter my question. Notice the text editor comes back up. I'm going to be saying, type in my question now that I have here. And you know, it's always wise to stick to your trade. So here's an IT question. Into which of the following generations is machine language categorized? Good. So here I enter my first option. I try to get some short questions. Second, third, and fourth generation. So the answer is supposed to be A. So that's the choice. Now, as I was saying, you can, even in multiple choice, you can have different values. You can put a 2 there if you want for that answer, since the level of this question is maybe a little bit harder or so. Or if I wanted to stay at 1, anything you want to put it at. And allow students to use Scratchpad. I'm going to demonstrate that this time. Select a standard, depth of knowledge, recall, yeah, difficulty level. This one is easy. And the solution, I could always put the solution that the answer is machine or first generation. Could always put a hint. This time I'm going to save and proceed. I'm not going to save, I'm just going to preview the assignment. Your work is automatically saved on the draft. When I'm finished, here's the Scratchpad for the students. So I click on it, and you know this is mostly for math and science, where you actually want a canvas to do some work. So let's say I want to work out something here. I click on that, and I click on I'm able to type here to work out something. Math, look, I get help here for math based on the question. So here you have some options. I don't necessarily need my scratch pad for this question. It's either I know the answer, being first, second, or third. And if you remember carefully, I had selected first. This time I'm going to select third for my answer, and I'm going to submit it, so I should get it incorrect. See, it said it's wrong. First is the correct answer, and here the students, you can show the correct answer since she got it wrong or he got it wrong. All right, so if you're satisfied with this question, then you can say save and proceed. Grade 9, 10 this time. Just select, and I'm just selecting something here to get past this, but you would spend a little bit more time. Good. So now my one question is done. I'm putting it for grade 9. Grade 9. The subject. And it's one question I did. And here, where you see this option here, it means you could move over. If I had 10 questions, I could rearrange them manually. So the orange section is showing me that it's a multiple choice type question. Depth of knowledge is recall. It's done by me. That's the ID number. And do I want sharing to be private? I left it at private because right after this, I'm going to delete it. Now, this is the next part I wanted you to bear in mind. After doing all of this, you can remove selected, reorder selected, select all. You can also preview it, that's how I've been doing it, or add a new question from the question bank, or make one for myself. But you would have seen those steps. Now I'm finished with my 25 questions, 30 questions. I'm going to now publish or assign. Now in publishing or assigning, look at what happens. You're presented with all of these. Today happens to be the 22nd of July. So I can say I want to open it today and close it the 29th. Or if I'm going to wait until the students come and sit in front of me, I open it and I manually close it. Right? So here now, I'm going to put it for next week. Automatically on start date, automatically on due date. Now I would assign a class name. I want this first, these are some Google classes. So let's say I want all 58 students. I would say select all. And I could put on it release scores, or I can take off release scores. And then I can say, all right, assign to all of them. Select all students, and now I assign. It's just one question, so when they go there, they'll see it. All right? Now look at this. It says share as graded assignments. This is where you see Google integration coming in now. Google Classroom integration. Share as graded assignments. These classes are already on Google Classroom. So when the students go in, they'll be able to see this assignment. However, if I want to change sharing level, I can always say with whole Edulastic community, any teacher using it, invite and share, link, share and invite others. I can do that. Or I can simply click on the link.
So, Mrs.
Click on the link. You hearing me still?
Mrs. Miller?
Yes. I'm hearing you.
We have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes to go. So we need to have our question and answer session and a quick recap.
All right. So here now you click on the link and you could give them in any platform you have, Schoology, Edmodo, or so on and so forth. And the last thing I'm going to point out before you ask me your questions is the reports. I was showing you this from the PowerPoint, which you will get to. From the report, you're able to see that the students have done the work, but this says no data currently available. But you will see those who mastered, those who didn't master, those who maybe need more help, need more attention. Here now you can group them to say this one mastered, this one didn't master. You can put them together, or as an entire class, the teacher may come up with new strategies to assist. And the last option, to manage class, just in case you're not using a Google Classroom, Edulastic can stand on its own, because all you would need to do is to give the students the class code. You could create the class, or you could sync with Google Classroom the class codes, and they will be able to see this form of assessment. All right? So there it is. You see how to do a drag and drop. You see how to do a multiple choice. I wanted to do a drop down, which is similar to a multiple choice. It's just that you would click and a menu would come up for you to actually do this. Now, as Mrs. Dawson Brown said, we can now take some questions. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop sharing.
Right. So yes. I have some questions in the chat. As a grade 1 teacher, how would she be able to insert shapes, and how can parents join?
All right, parents are able to join. If your school has a Google Classroom platform, most times the teachers will sync, S-Y-N-C, sync the Edulastic into it. If not, it's a whole platform on its own where you can get a code and you can join. Parents can join, students can join. And if you are a parent who is a teacher, or a teacher and a parent, you can join as a teacher, same way. So parents can join as a teacher and manipulate this. And for the shapes, you can get your shapes early and save them under My Pictures, and then you can highlight them when it's time to set your picture, your questions, because you can click on it and open the different pictures or tools that you have. So just prepare it before, and if it is in
another question,
you want shape identification, okay, a crescent, a circle, whatever, you can use that.
Another question, can teachers upload their own subject because not all subjects are listed?
Oh yes, oh yes. You may not be able to upload a specific subject name. For example, digital media is maybe not there, but you will see digital technology with that heading, and then you'll be able to give it a title for yourself, the course a title, and you'll be able to add your content. I see some hands raised, Miss Brown.
Okay. You're the host. I made you host.
Me? Totally?
Yes.
All right, let me see. Let me see if I can find. Oh, the hands. Unmute. Danisha, I'm going to unmute and you're coming one after the other. Sukasini, okay, so, unmute.
Right.
All right, so these people
Russell,
with these questions. So Ennis, you're free to ask your question now.
My question is, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly.
Yes. If I'm using the Edmodo platform, how can I upload my questions there?
All right. At this point, Edulastic is not. I don't know if it is in. If it's synchronizing with Edmodo right now. But what you can do, Miss, is to go ahead and do everything on Edulastic and put that link on Edmodo, and the students will be able to go there and do your 10 questions, 2,500 questions.
So don't the students need to download this in order to do so? Or the link will take them straight to
the link will take them straight there, and if they don't have the app on their phone or the tablet, it will ask them to download it, or even on the laptop, it will say open from the browser.
And
For
they will
example,
be okay,
a while ago when I got kicked out, the computer that I used to finish the demonstration, it didn't have any tool. I had to do it from the browser itself, so they can do it from the browser.
So won't they need an email address to do so?
No.
Okay then. Thank you.
Just click on it and
Russell.
answer.
All
Ms.
right, thank
Russell.
you.
Yes, Miss. I must say this is a great platform and I will definitely be using it come September. The question I want to ask is, how did she get the text box to cover the content when she was labeling? I didn't see that part.
All right. I used it as a regular text box. What I did, as soon as I typed in the option, for example, the parish Westmoreland, as soon as I moved across or right beside Westmoreland, there was a little cross that came up, a little plus with some arrows. I clicked on that and I was able to pull it over onto Westmoreland on the map, and I was able to adjust the size. When I adjusted the size, it was ready for the students.
We have 4 minutes to go.
Okay,
All right,
Miss. Thanks. I will be exploring.
Alexander.
Yes.
Good afternoon again, Miss. Yes.
Good afternoon.
I know you did not get a chance to demonstrate the any of the assessment setting for the early childhood. I don't know if when you are sending the
PowerPoint.
recording to us, if you could maybe send a PowerPoint or something.
The PowerPoint will be sent to all teachers.
But the one pointing
with demonstration.
With the demonstration for the early childhood.
Sorry, may I correct that, please? Good afternoon, teachers.
Afternoon.
The PowerPoint will be sent to the teachers who complete the evaluation.
Okay.
Did we hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So I know
the evaluations will be opened on Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
I must say, Miss, it was a wonderful presentation. I really loved it. It's very interesting. And I intend to explore, even as we're finished here, to see what can be done for my babies.
Very good.
Very good.
Even though I did not demonstrate for you, it's still at the bottom of the page. So what I did for the others, you can go there too. It's right there. When I did that first early childhood question, everything is there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I think we have time for just maybe one more question.
One more.
I see Sukasini. I've unmuted you.
Good afternoon. I'm trying to use the thing that the standards for the question, but once I place other and the subject, I can't add the question on Edulastic. I'm not sure why.
What you can do, other is going to give it to you blank. So what you can do is just to select an option, for example, grade 12 or grade 5, in order for you to move on, even if you want to try.
But okay, so even because I teach the bachelor's and associate students, so I was wondering if that would affect the exam if I put like grade 5 or so.
No, you wouldn't put grade 5. I would put grade 12 and explain to the students. And remember, this is limited to an extent in terms of the free version. There's a premium version and the enterprise or some other versions where you can manipulate some more.
Okay, so the code that we see, that is what we send the students so they can join the class?
If you're using Edulastic alone, yes. If not, when you create the assignment, you can send the link and they'll be able to get it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have to wrap up now.
All right, thank you very much, teachers. And now remember, when you go back to the Edulastic page, at the top, there's an option there that says resources. Go there, the videos are there, and help is along the way, every step of the way, using this program. So you won't be left alone.
Right. Thank you, teachers. Have yourselves a wonderful day. And thank you for participating. Go now and navigate and become a pro.